If you got to get up and move a little bit, get a little energy, feel good tonight, be ready to receive, open to receive new information, positive information to help you get through whatever you're going through. Make it happen. If you believe in yourself and know what you want, you're going to make it happen. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much again for joining me this evening. I am so pleased and happy that you are able to join us, whether you're watching the replay. I just hope that all of the information that we're sharing, that Anne brought in last night, our special guest, and also tonight we have a powerful speaker as well, another coach that's going to share a story that's so powerful, and hopes that it will give you hope that no matter what you go through or going through at this time in your life, that you will make it. We're going to give you all the tips that we can possibly give you, all the strategies, the different techniques that you can actually put in place to help you get through whatever you are going through. And the thing that we want you to get to, most of all, is living out your purpose. Getting in alignment with who you are, knowing your power, that you are powerful and you have everything within you to make it happen. See, on day one, we talked about acceptance, about accepting who you are, about accepting things about you, about accepting what has happened in the past as a child, accepting that you are going through a divorce or separation or whatever challenge that you're going through right now. Just accept it. One of the other areas we talked about accepting is your feelings. Taking out the time to check in with yourself. Checking in with yourself, with your mind, body, and your spirit, and your emotional self, also known as your child. So check in with that child, your inner self, your inner being, from time to time, and just be thankful. Thank those parts of you. And then ask, what is it that you can do for them? What is it that they need? And then get quiet and just listen to your inner being or your inner self or your spirit and hear what it has to say to you. Any question, any concerns that you may have. In day two, we talked about forgiveness. Forgiving others, how to forgive others through compassion. Anne came on and talked about how she went through forgiveness, how you can forgive yourself. She talked about how you can go into the shower, whatever it is that those negative thoughts and old beliefs. We talked about how to get rid of those old beliefs and create new beliefs, because those old beliefs are blocking you. So we talked about that. And back to Anne, she talked about the shower, going in the shower, and whatever negative energy, thoughts, or whatever, just, cry, have the dirty cry or the nasty cry or the ugly cry, and just let it out in the shower, and then let the water just run over you, and then watch it go down the drain, and just imagine that that's going down the drain, whatever you're dealing with that's blocking you or stopping you. So tonight, we're going to talk about letting go. Yes, that decluttering your mind, your body, and your spirit, and the physical surroundings, your environment, and letting go of what is in your mind. How do you let go? How do we let go? How? A lot of people have a tough time of letting go. We've seen so many movies and shows about people that hoard things, hoarders. Why does that happen? Why is it so hard to let go? So we're going to talk a little bit about that this evening. So before I continue, what I would like to do next is I would like for us to take that moment out and set our intentions for the evening. And let's get into a place of gratitude. And what is it that you want this evening? What is it that your heart, your soul desires? So we're just going to take a moment and take 3 deep breaths. In and out. Inhale in, hold, and release. Relax your shoulders, relax your eyebrows, your forehead, your mouth. And let's take another inhale and hold and exhale. And when you inhale this last time, I want you to make sure that your belly is expanding. You're breathing air into your belly. And when you exhale, I want your belly to go in. So let's focus on that. And that is focused breathing. So let's get a good last breath. Let's inhale. The stomach goes out. And exhale. Your stomach goes in. That is called focused breathing. And I hope that you all have set some intentions for this evening. And I am so excited. And again, welcome, welcome. You have made it to the 3rd day of the Look and Feel Fabulous Challenge. I want to tell you about the guest speaker that we're going to have tonight is Sorina. Sorina is a health and wellness coach, and she focuses on making empowering choices. That is the item or the topic that she's going to talk about tonight. You know, how do we make better choices on what and when to let go? That's the question. You know, when I lost my father, partially lost my mother, because after her car accident, she was no longer the same. She couldn't do this, take care of me. So my grandparents ended up taking care of me. Started to feel and believe that I had no one to help me with decisions or choices in life. I was basing it off of what I learned, what I heard, what my friends were talking about, what I saw on TV. You know, that's how I made my choices as a child. And as for letting go of things, oh my goodness, oh no. You know, my mother taught me to hold on to things because you don't know when it's going to come back in style. That was her thing. I lived in an attic. The attic was the bed with just a mattress, no headboard or footboard, and surrounded by a makeshift closet. We didn't have a closet. So I saw clothes and piles of clothes just, you know, running over in baskets. My mom keeping all of her clothes from way back when, and, you know, and then my clothes. It was so much clutter. And so it was just clutter. And that clutter, I was used to that around me. So I wanted to hold on to things. I grew up learning, just hold on to things. You never know when you might, you know, need it again. As far as food, you know, eat all your food on your plate, right? That's what we're taught. Eat all the food on your plate. Don't waste it. And then there's the mental part of memories and keeping things in your mind. You know, I started a diary when I was 7 years old, and it was amazing that I still have that diary. So here it is right here. This is the diary I had when I was 7. Someone gave it to me, this young girl. She was a teenager at the time, older than myself, and she gave me a used diary. I ripped out some of the pages, and she was like, here, just write down and journal. So I used this. This dates way back, but I started jotting down my feelings and thoughts. And when I look back at that diary today, it's like I just was looking for love. All I talked about was like I wanted love, and oh, someone didn't like me. And I don't know why, my family, it seemed like they didn't like me or somebody didn't love me, and I just wanted to run away so often. And no one knew this. No one knew I was going through that. I was a Sunday school secretary. So I didn't know how to make choices really on my own. I based it off of what I was learning and what I was seeing in the experiences. I didn't have someone to teach me how to make proper choices and how to make good decisions. I just followed. As I got older and I got in relationships, I wanted to hold on to my relationships. I wasn't in a lot of relationships growing up because I held on to relationships. They were long-term relationships ever since I was like 15 or 16, all the way up until I got married. I was holding on. I wanted that feeling. I wanted that love. I wanted what I felt when I was a child. And I did not want to let that go, that feeling, no matter what. I wanted to hold on to it. And why my experience to talk about this is because I've been through it. And those limiting beliefs and everything that kind of was in my mind was based on what I went through as a child. And letting go was the toughest thing to do. So that's why when I went through divorce, it was like, what? Because I didn't have control over that situation and it happened, then I turned it around. And sometimes that's what we do. We turn it around. Instead of holding on and just following, I went to the opposite direction where I wanted to take control. I wanted my control back. I wanted my control back over my life, over my situations. And then I did things in unhealthy ways. I lived an unhealthy lifestyle in short-term relationships. Now I went the opposite. It was easy for me to just let things just kind of switch on and off and change relationships and get over friendships. But deep down inside, I still wanted that love. And it was hard for me to let go. And the clutter and all of that was still on my mind. And then I found myself in my late 40s living in the basement of someone's home. And guess what? I was surrounded by clutter again. All of the things that I had and that I owned. No windows, just a door to go out to the patio. My bedroom did not have any windows. I did not have a closet. And it was a mattress with no headboard and no footboard. I went back to where and how I felt when I was 5 years old, surrounded by clutter. And all of that clutter was blocking my gifts and my talents and me getting out and really living the life that I was placed here to live and to serve others. And that was the point where I knew that something had to change or I was going to lose my mind. At that time, my kids were not with me because in the divorce, I decided to let the kids live with their father, and I was the one paying child support. So like I said, letting go was tough in the beginning. And then I just did the total opposite, where I was just letting go of all the wrong things, letting things go, letting the house go, letting didn't care. I just wanted it to be over. Like, okay, it doesn't matter. But later I paid for all of that. It came back to haunt me. So today, what we want to share is we want you to not have to go through all of those things. We want you to be able to make better choices and think through your choices. And I want to just also define the difference between a decision and a choice. A decision is something that you may have 10 doors presented, or like The Price is Right, right? You have to make a decision. Which one? There's like solid decisions there. The options are given to you and you need to make a decision on whether you want door number 1, 2, or 3. A choice is something that's going to affect you long term. A choice is like a much bigger thing. It's something that's going to bring you joy or some certain way that you want to feel. So by making a choice to eat at your favorite restaurant because you know that it's going to make you feel good, or you love that steak, or you love that seafood there, it brings about a feeling. It's a desired feeling that you want. So it's a choice. So there's choices that we make in life that we need to be careful what choice we make, because how do you want to feel when you make that choice? That could impact your life. So there's a lot more we could talk about and dig a little deeper into those. But what I want to do now is we have a wonderful guest here all the way from in Ireland. She is taking the time out with the time different and everything. So I am so appreciative and I appreciate her time. And so I'm going to bring her on in just a moment, but I just want to introduce you to Sorina. And she has, like I said, a wonderful story that she is going to share with us this evening. She is located in Ireland, and she is a health and wellness coach, and she serviced many individuals in her field of health and wellness. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on Sorina.
Hello everybody. Hi, Sherry.
So yes, so I just want to say thank you so very much for joining us. And I'm excited to hear your story. I'm not going to take up a lot of time, so I want you to go ahead and get started. And is there anything else that you want to share as far as your background that I may have missed, like your credentials? Because I know, and the audience that you serve, if you could just share that, and then I'll turn it over to you.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me, Sherry. You know, I'm absolutely honored to be here. I do help women. This is my preference of choice. It's helping women to do life change, to change their lifestyle. And it's not only about improving their well-being potential, but also increasing their success and having a better life in general. At the moment, I'm working on a project for helping women to build an extraordinary life.
Well, thank you so much for the additional introduction. I appreciate that. But without further ado, I'm going to turn it over so you can talk about making empowering choices. Thank you.
So, hello everybody again. I'm Sorina. I'm the founder of Wellness Journey, and I'm really thrilled to be here. I will tell you congratulations for being here. This is the first step towards your journey. This is your first step towards looking and feeling fabulous during this time of your life, divorce. I do consider divorce being an opportunity and not necessarily something bad. I'm divorced for 5 years, and I'm in a far better place than I could ever be while married with my ex-husband. So I think it was the best opportunity of my life, and I think you can transform this into the best opportunity of your life. You can choose being a victim, or you can choose to take actions and to do something and to achieve a wonderful life. You can create something different. And the reality is, if you're here, you're in the middle of a divorce. That means something did not work out. And it doesn't matter if it was your choice or his choice, or you both decided together. It doesn't matter right now whose fault it was. The only relevant thing is that one of you was miserable and the other one will become miserable. Because what type of life is the one with somebody that doesn't love you anymore, doesn't appreciate you anymore, doesn't hold your hand when you need it, is not passionate about you anymore, doesn't stick around? I don't think it's healthy. I think we all need love. We need to be appreciated. We need to be showing these feelings. So yes, divorce can be an opportunity. You can create something meaningful and wonderful with your life. By now, you are a mature woman and you have a bit of life experience. I'm convinced that you have absolutely no idea what you want right now. But you know what you don't want. You know what you like. And you like what makes you happy and what brings smiles on your face. So you can do more of those things and slowly grow into the direction that you want to. And yes, how to get there? Well, I tell you what I've done, and I will tell you what I did and worked and what I did and didn't work. As I said, I'm divorced for 5 years. We've been together for 15, while 12 married. 6 years ago, my husband collect our takeaway dinner, came home and told me that he can't do this anymore. He doesn't love me anymore. He loved somebody else, obviously. I was hurt. I was angry. I was almost hysterical. I begged, and I was absolutely scared to let go. We stayed together for almost another year. And 1 week before my heart intervention, that I was due a heart intervention, I actually asked him to move out. And it was a very hard decision, but I didn't want to be trapped in bed. Like if I could have small heart surgery, but I could go in a full heart surgery, which involved being 6 months in bed. So I didn't want to be trapped in a relationship, and I didn't want him to be trapped in this relationship. I didn't want his pity, and I didn't want to be looked after by a person that doesn't love me anymore and doesn't respect me enough to not cheat at me at the time. So he left me at the hospital, came back, packed, and moved. 3 days later, he went away with another guy and 2 women. And that was the most heartbreaking thing in my life. That was shocking, and it hurt me more than the fact that he cheated on me. My 15 years life partner went away 3 days after we broke up, while I was at home, barely walking, minded by my sister, recovering on a heart intervention. And that made me realize he was not worth the pain and my suffering. I realized I want more and I deserve more. And I decided to put myself together, to move on, and to create something wonderful. I wanted to look good, I wanted to feel good, I wanted to be happy. Moreover, I really needed to look after my health because I barely walked. I needed to look. I had oxy on my table, I was on high painkiller, very strong painkillers. So the moment when I decided to put myself together, to move on, to do something different with my life, everything got more clear. I don't say it was easy. I met him when I was 21. We got married at 24. I didn't know how to function on my own. I didn't realize there is a life outside the couple. But I knew the theory. I was just qualifying as a health and wellness coach, and I did some psychology and mental health courses. That helped me. I knew the basis. I knew what I have to do. And his unexpected, his go away weekend, to not say anything bad, really gave me a good kick, and I start taking actions. What I've done, the main thing for me was to leave the house. So I was dragging myself out of the bed every single morning early and went out. I was going for a walk. I couldn't walk only maybe 10 minutes in the beginning, and I have to sit down. But I was getting out of the house every day, walking 10 minutes, 20 minutes. In a few months, I was walking 1 hour, 2 hours a day sometimes. Depends on my time because I was back to work at the time. But that was my free therapy. Going on a walk on the beach, the wind, the sand, the noise of the waves, that was the miracle. Then I started looking a bit after myself more. I started being careful what I'm eating. I started making effort with my makeup. Maybe I got big fake eyelashes like now. I look after my skin. And the most important thing, I took a yoga class and I joined the gym. At age 35 was the very, very first time when I walked into a gym and actually stayed. I couldn't go on any machine for more than 3 minutes, 3 minutes half. Treadmill was 3 minutes 20, I think. And I couldn't do it for a few good weeks, but I was going. I was going every day. I was going 5-6 days a week, maybe for 20 minutes, half an hour, 40 minutes maximum with a shower and everything. I will do a bit on whatever I could, and I'll do some stretchings. I was consistent, and that helped me to feel better, to look better, to get more energy, to be able to focus better. And all together, I felt better. I could see the light outside there. And I started making changes. While I was doing all these changes, I've done things that didn't help me out. I was calling him. I was trying to make sure he's fine. I was singing for breakfast. He went on a bad path and I saved him again. So I focused my time and energy, despite I knew what I have to do, despite I was doing everything for myself and I got better and I looked better. I was still having him in my life till one day when I was like, oh, I'm actually done. I don't really need him. I think for me was I needed my best friend because he was my best friend. And I not only gave him my love, my support, my 100% trust, I gave him everything. I gave him myself, my goals, my dreams, and I adapted to his. So I needed time to let go 100%. I was healing, but I needed him for a while. And the moment when we broke that circle of talking and seeing and chatting, it was mostly me begging him for my attention, for his attention probably, I got better. I got in a better place. And I changed career. Now I'm following my dream. I finished my studies. I do look better than 10 years ago, and it's not that I'm skinnier or I have less wrinkles. God, no, I'm 10 years older. I do have more wrinkles. But it's coming from inside. I'm happy with me. I'm happy from within. I'm content. And that makes a massive difference. So if I've done it, probably most women can do it. It's just what you choose. You can choose to make a change and be better, or you can choose to stay in the same place and be sad and hurt and never let go. Your choice, as you said, it's all about letting go and choices. I chose to move on and feel better. And I feel better right now, so you can do the same. My little advice is what advices I could give to everybody else. I actually put them on a little list a few minutes ago. Yeah, I was thinking clarity is the most important. So you have to make sure you know exactly what you want to get from this divorce or during this divorce at the end of it. You need to get clarity. You need to know your strengths and your weaknesses. You need to know, can you say no? Can you say yes? How are you going to do things? You have to visualize everything and put it down, because you need to know exactly the direction you're getting through. You need to increase your energy, because without energy you can't do anything. And in order to increase your energy, you have to watch your food, you have to start moving, and you have to sleep well. We all know the basics. You just have to follow them and follow them every day. I don't suggest to change everything at the same time, but you have to be aware of your choices and you have to be aware that you need more energy in your life. Then focus. Don't focus on him. Don't focus on others. Don't focus on anything else right now except yourself and your new goals and your new life, and go in that direction. Set up an action plan and execute it day by day. Be consistent and be committed to yourself and to your goals, and you will get exactly what you want to go. I guarantee you. Be committed to yourself, because this is a massive secret. And my last advice, it was, don't compromise for nothing. Don't compare yourself with anybody else, and don't take advices only from people that you absolutely admire, show up every day and be a bit better than you were yesterday.
I just want to say thank you so much. That was awesome. I want to talk a little bit. I do have a couple of questions for you. And that is, if we could talk a little bit more about, well, first I want to point out some of the wonderful things that you shared. And that was, that I want to reiterate. And that is that we know what to do a lot of times. We know what to do, but we don't do it, right? And that's where you need the support. That's where you need support. You need someone to be there for you that's not going to judge you, that's going to listen to you, a support group. And I believe Ann said yesterday, it's not about getting with a group that's going to just talk all about the bad stuff that happened during divorce and, oh, he did this and did. No, you don't want that type of group. You want to bring in the positive energy. And like, if you're around that energy, then you're going to attract what you want in life. So I really appreciate you saying, don't compare yourself to others. That was one of the notes that I made, is that do not compare yourself. Sometimes we're going through divorce and you always hear these stories of women saying, oh, I'm having a divorce party and I'm good. And you know what I'm saying? And some of them may be fine, right? But we do not know their story. We do not know their situation. They could have just been married for 6 months. They could have been married for just 6 days. So do not judge, compare yourself to other people going through divorce. And I like also the fact that you said that you don't have to try to do everything. Like, oh, I'm going to work out. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to start taking a new class. Start somewhere. That's one of my favorite quotes, is just start somewhere, and start where it feels good to you, right? And if you're around the right people, like you said, people that inspire you, people that are, that basically provides you the good positive energy that you need during this time, then you're going to be okay. And then you're going to have that person, you're going to hear positive and good things and good steps that you should take, and be like, oh, okay, let me try that. I think that's going to help me. But yes, do not get overwhelmed, and don't beat yourself up if you make a mistake. Like, if you are like, oh, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna walk because I just need to get out in nature. I think you mentioned getting out in nature. Yes, walking, all of that is great things to do during this time, to start doing if you haven't started doing that. So I appreciate those things. The other thing that you mentioned that I do want to talk a little bit about, because there was some in the group, there was a couple of individuals that was mentioning about self-doubt, right? So let's talk a little bit about doubt. Did you experience any doubt during your divorce? And then I'll share my story about, like, during divorce, what did you doubt? Did you doubt anything? Did you doubt yourself?
I think I doubted everything. You have no idea what you are doing. Whatever you do, you are still expecting him to be there, or you still want to ask him, or you need his approval. You do doubt yourself, because, as I said, I got married at 21. No, I got married at 24. We met at 21. He was half of my life in my life. He was my best friend.
Yes.
So I doubt that I didn't even drive. I started driving after that.
Wow.
He was picking me up. I didn't need to drive. So yes, I didn't know I can do anything. But for me, the moment that I choose, I gonna do it. And I can do it. I was doing things. I don't say I didn't do mistakes, but it helped me a lot. Once I set up my mindset that I have to put my things together, I have to make this. I made it. Of course I had doubts. Of course I was working through all this, and I was crying, and I was scared, and I didn't know how I'm gonna make it financially to the next day. I live in
Right.
Ireland. It's an expensive place to live.
Right. And so I just want, thank you so much for sharing that, Sorina, because, and I hope this is really helping the ladies who asked about this. But I did want to share a couple of tips on how to overcome self-doubt. And I'm just going to share about 8 items, and you pick whichever one that you think you can kind of look into or start working on, or maybe 2 or 3, but whatever feels right for you. And one is practice self-compassion. And we talked about compassion. That's part of that forgiveness. We talked about that. The second one is remember your past achievements. That is so important. I think someone told me to remember, right? Remember to remember. Just think, sit down, go, when you're walking in nature, just remember your past achievements. No matter how far you go back. Oh my goodness, I remember I did a hula hoop contest and I won. Didn't do it today, but I did win then. You know, just think of your achievement, because when you start thinking of those good, positive things, you start feeling good. Your vibration comes up. The third one is try not to compare yourself to others. We talked about that. We already hit on that, right? Be mindful of your thinking. We talked about that earlier, about those old beliefs, those limiting beliefs that do not serve you. And we also walked through how do you change those limiting beliefs into a new belief. So go back and watch that. And I think it was a homework assignment that we gave. So walk through those steps, okay, to get started on, what you're thinking. Spend time with supportive people. Sorina just mentioned that. She just mentioned that. You want to be around supportive people, not people that's, oh my God, you're not going to believe what he did or what happened, and still in the past, and they've been divorced for 20 years, don't hang around those people. Find validation from within. We talked about acceptance. Accept yourself. Find that validation from within. And 7, remember that you're the harshest critic. So that little critter brain, some people call it the gremlin. They have all kinds of names for it. Some people, I remember when I grew up in church, it was like, how you see those images of the angel and the devil on your shoulder? And it's always like the little devil is telling you something. The angel is like, no, don't do it. And I think it's a cartoon like that too. But yes, it's like that voice in your head. You're always going to have that other voice that's like, you're not good enough. No, you're not going to find anybody else. You messed up. You made the wrong choice. All of those things. But remember that you are your harshest critic. So just know that that exists. And so you can hear that voice, listen to it, and then you have the power to change and make a choice on what you want to think about. And that's where you can implement simply gratitude. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for being able to see, being able to hear. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for being able to walk. I'm thankful for a car. I'm thankful for a job. I'm thankful. Already you just start lifting your vibration. Okay, so remember that. And the last thing that I wanted to share in how to overcome your self-doubt is identify your values. So jot it down. What are your values? So what I would like to do at this moment before I go into my slide, since we do have Doris on, if you don't mind, Doris, you can either, I don't know if I took off your video, if you can get back on your own or not. But yeah, if you could come on video, if you don't want to, that's fine. But I just would like to know if the self-doubt is that, do you feel like there's something that you could do differently? Like which one of those things you think that you could do differently or you can start implementing right away? And you could put something in the chat if you want to. And I do hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you now. Thank you for joining. First, I want to say thank you for joining. You've been like a faithful person that's been joining every evening. I hope it's been helpful for you.
very helpful, very. But this self-doubt is, I think, is thinking that I was a failure at not doing something that I've seen other people do that seems so easy, which I'm knowing that, it's not quite as easy as they make it seem, but comparing myself. One thing I had to stop doing was comparing myself to other, what I would call successful people in their marriage and in their life. My success is not anyone else's.
Exactly.
Theirs isn't mine. And that's something I am still learning. I don't have to compare myself to anyone. I'm out to make me happy. As long as I'm happy, I'm not hurting anyone, I'm okay.
Yeah, and you're not a failure.
Me at night.
And you're not a failure. And that's a good thing. Thank you, Doris, for sharing that, because failure is another area. And I'll also let Sorina speak to this, but my own personal story, first I'll say with the comparing to others and then the failure. And I'm going through menopause, so make sure I don't forget what I'm trying to say. So the first thing is comparing yourself to other couples, and like I said, feeling like I'll just put it all together, the failure and comparing yourself, because I used to be that way too. And sometimes I had to shut down Facebook. I had to stop looking at Facebook for a while, like give yourself a break, because it was starting to bother me. Because I remember I have friends on Facebook that I've known since I was 5 years old, since I started school. We went to school the entire time. And some of them have been married for 30 years. And I am just like, I'm a good person. What happened? Why couldn't I have been? So I understand the comparison. But what I started to do and what I learned is that every relationship has its issues. Everybody, because the universe brings us together, no matter what relationship you're in, it brings us together so that we can learn something about ourselves and to better ourselves, and also to get to where we're supposed to be in life. So we have to also be grateful and thankful for all of those relationships that did not work, including divorce. And that's the one thing. So everyone has their own path. Some people may learn the same lesson that you're learning through divorce. They have to learn it in a different way. So go ahead, Sorina, would you like to add to that and share your experience?
My experience was different from this point of view, because I never, since I was very young, I never cared of anybody else's opinion. And the reason is I just built up a strange coping mechanism. I grew up in hospital till 6 years of age. I was mostly in hospital. I had no chance to leave. So wherever I'll go, the other children will avoid playing with me, will avoid integrating me. I don't know, not necessarily they were mean, they were afraid I'm gonna break. I was
right.
completely different. My skin was very blue. Everybody knew, oh, she might die, she's different.
Wow.
So I had to live in my little world as a child. And it's hurtful. I do remember when I had my first surgery, I've been told, you're gonna go in Germany. I had it in Germany. You will die. So I built this within myself since I was very young. And I remember I was telling you, I was before my full surgery when they gave me a double dose of anesthetic, pre-anesthetic, and I couldn't sleep. And when they asked me kindly to do it and to relax, I said, I won't do it. I'm not dying today. I've been told I'm gonna die.
Wow.
So
oh my
I had
goodness.
It myself.
Yeah, so you already had, and that's another important thing is to share with Doris as well, and everyone who's watching this, is that everybody is different. Just like Sorina's like, I didn't have an issue with that. I don't compare myself.
I have no
always
issues
had
with that.
I've always been that way because of what she experienced as a child. And so like for us, as far as when we start comparing with other people, just know, just reverse that. You have, as I said, you have the power to choose what you think. You are the master of your thoughts. It's just the thought.
Yes.
So don't, if it doesn't serve you, let it go. Let it go.
For me, it was hard to let go the people in my life that I knew they are not good for me, the negative people. That took me ages to let go, and I have a very small number of friends, close friends now.
Me too.
I let go really good and really close friends because their attitude and their mindset was actually damaging me. Like they were taking all my energy. There was the same things, and I had to slowly remove. And I even said, look, this is not for me. Right, it was heartbreaking, and I still miss some of them.
Yes,
in a better place. That was for me
totally
the most
understand.
difficult.
Yes, yes, I agree.
Didn't need the pity. I hated that. Oh, you divorced. I'm sorry. Well, I knew I worked in pharmacy for 10 years. I was doing mental health course. I knew that behind everybody's, it's another story. Behind the smiles and the beautiful parties and the perfect families, there is always something.
Yeah.
You know, and I was aware of it. So what I said to you, and I decided to go on, I just used every knowledge that I knew. I put everything together, and I used it for my best interest.
Right.
The most difficult to let go actually was my ex, to actually stop seeing him, stop talking to him, stop caring. That was because even if you are in a better place, he's part of your life, so you try to help him, to fix him, to make sure he's fine, the poor baby who cheated on you and went away. You know, I couldn't help myself. That was, I was angry and I was hurt and I was hating him on the side. It's a big word to say, but at the same time I cared.
Yeah, we still care, and especially if you have children involved, you don't want anything bad to happen to, and especially with my sons, they were staying with their father. So I definitely didn't want anything, you know, to happen to them. I cared, but it was just, the thing that we're trying to share with, if you're going through divorce, is that all of these different tips and strategies that we're sharing with you, you still have to make a choice to implement it.
Yes.
Because you can hear all of this. Yes, you have to make the choice. I mean, you've already made a choice to either watch, or you're seeking, which is a good thing, because when you seek and your intentions is like, I'm trying to better myself, the doors will open for you. Like the right people will come in your path, the right organizations, the right groups, you'll hear the right song at the right time. I'm telling you, it'll want you to just continue to seek for guidance, get quiet often, and the answers will come to you. And you won't worry about what other people say or do or how they're living. You're wishing everybody well. I wish everybody well and peace and happiness, whatever they're going through. And the funny thing I really wanted to share about when we talk about comparing, like you see other people, you think of your failure, you have no idea how many married friends have contacted me through Facebook that I was so shocked, because on the page, it's like, we're celebrating our 20th anniversary, and they look like they travel and they're doing all these big things. So you never know what another person or couple or whatever is, but please do not compare yourself. That is the thing that will take you in the ground. That will stress you out to, I don't even know how far. It's just like until you lose your mind. You can lose your mind.
Yes, you can lose your mind because you're in any circumstances, but if you care too much about anything else, and if this is the moment and it's just about you. When you go through a divorce, you have to become selfish.
Yes.
It's nothing except yourself and your children.
Yes.
If you have children, you have maybe even a bigger reason to be more positive, to be more supportive, to become a kind. And I always say to everybody, behave like an absolute lady to the whole divorce. with him and everybody else.
Yes.
Don't lower your level, up your level, go high.
Yes.
Be an absolute human being who is a lady, who follows the rule, who smiles, who behaves, who dress up nicely, show up beautiful. Be an inspiration for your children, because you don't want them to pay for your marriage or for your divorce.
No.
10 years later, you want them to think, oh my God, mom was so good all this time. She was so close to us. She was so positive. She was amazing with that. She grew up so much since. I think she's an amazing woman. That's
my sons actually said that about me today when I said I was doing this challenge. I told them I had a workshop this Sunday, and I talked to them about it, and they just like, that's cool, Mom, that's nice, that's good. And they seen me struggle. They seen me go through that struggle period where I didn't have anything, and I'm living in the basement. I couldn't even have them over for 2 years because I was living in the basement. You know, I couldn't even have them to come visit me for 2 whole years. And you can't imagine the mental the stress that I was under. But that was I had to go through that in order for me to get to where I am today and where I'm going. You know, I have a vision now for my life. I have a vision that is a purpose. It has purpose, you know, and so I get excited about it, and I get to use all my creativity and singing and editing videos and, you know, and communicating. That's just what I love to do. So I'm just encouraging all the ladies out there, and Sorina is like after midnight there for her. So I appreciate you being here. What I want to share with you all right now is that time to declutter my life. How to make space for more happiness and better health. And please do not leave, Sorina, because I'm coming back to you before we leave. But I am giving away, let me see, I'm checking Facebook right now. We have Shell Bond on as well. Thank you for joining. So what I would like to do is I want to do a giveaway. And what I was looking for originally was who participated, like, you know, really went full out and, you know, was chatting and sending messages, you know, in the group and things like that, that really kind of resonated with me. And I felt like they were really doing the best they could and really playing all full out. And so the person that I noticed that have been very active is Doris Robertson, and as you see, she's even on here. So she even joined the thing. So what I would like to gift you is if you could inbox me, you know, a private message, and I'll give you like my other my account, other Facebook account outside of this group. And I would like for you to message me your address, because what I would like to do is send you an autographed copy of my Time to Declutter My Life. And then also I have give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I forgot my button. I think I have it. Let me see. Okay, hold on. So anyway, so we have this right here, right? So this is the book I'm going to send you, the autographed copy. And then I have a button, and I also am going to send you a button that's got I vote for me. It's this little image right here. But it's actually a button you can wear, and that's another campaign that I've been doing, where it's women taking care of themselves. And I think Sorina mentioned about it's important to start taking care of yourself, and it's okay to be selfish right now, right? Take care of yourself, and this is a button you can wear to remind yourself, like, I vote for me. Okay? Vote for yourself. Take care of yourself. So I want to do that. And then the last thing that I have, and I'm going to play this once I bring it, is We Will Survive. And this is going to be, and I want to say congratulations to everyone that completed the 3-day challenge. And then we're going to go to, let's see if I can grab this. 1 second, I'm going to stop sharing. And then we're going to listen to a little music. Let me see if I can pull it up and get it in, because this is something that is a powerful song. I think everybody has probably heard. And I wanted to pull it up on the screen so you all can see the words as well. But here we go. And then we're going to close out the night. And thank you so much, Sorina, and everybody else.
Thank you, Sherry. It was amazing. And thank you for your support.
Okay, here we go. You can get up and sing. I will survive. From my space, I just walked and find you here with that sad look upon your face. Should you change your stupid lock? I should have made you leave your key. If I'd known for 1 second, you'd be back by the me. Go now, go. Walk out the door. Now, but you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to hurt me with goodbye? Think I crumbled? Think I lay down and die? Oh no, not how. I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know how. Everybody know the song. And I'll survive. I will survive. Hey, hey. It took years not to fall apart. Just trying hard to mend the pieces of my broken heart. And I spent on so many nights just feeling sorry for myself. I used to cry, but now I hold my head up high. See me now, somebody new. I'm not that chained up little person still in love with you. And so you felt like dropping in and just expect me to be free. Now I'm saving all my loving for someone who's loving me. Go on now, go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to break me with goodbye? Think I crumbled? Think I lay down and die? Oh no, not I. I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive. I've got all my life to live, and I've got all my love to give, and I'll survive. I will survive. Oh, oh.
You have a great voice.
All right, everybody, that was my karaoke. And we definitely will be having some karaoke nights in the Look and Feel Fabulous new group that's going to be starting. But again, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Peace and blessings to you, Sorina. I really appreciate you. Thank you for closing out this night. And I just wish everybody, much success. And just, you can reach out to any of the experts that you saw doing this week. You have Sorina, and then you also have Ann, and you have myself. So please do not hesitate to reach out to any of us after this has ended. But I would love to see you over in the group so we can continue our relationship. Thank you and have a great evening. Good night.
Have a lovely evening. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.